Hello, my name remains Joshua Ishaya, your regular host on the program Back to Farm. The program Back to Farm, as you know, is designed to educate Nigerians on the need why we must embrace agriculture as a nation. Today on the program Back to Farm, we will be looking at the topic food security and agricultural mechanization. Agricultural mechanization today has a very broad meaning. Its broad meaning includes production, distribution, utilization of a variety of tools, machinery and equipment of development of agricultural land, planting, harvesting, and primary processing. Today, the debate on development of agricultural mechanization turns into the debate on improving of agricultural techniques, as well as helping them improve the sustainability of the entire agricultural system. Evidence have suggested that the mechanization has a major impact on demand and supply of farm labor, agricultural profitability, and a change in rural landscape, and can be defined as an economic application of engineering technology to increase the labor efficiency and productivity. On this episode of the program, I urge you to stay back and take a look as our resource person is going to be diffusing and expatiating on the said topic. Stay tuned.
Now that we are looking at food insecurity, we know there are several socio-economic problems that result in food insecurity. But we want to look at those aspects of lack of mechanization that results in food insecurity in line with the theme of this expo. And as you can see here, that studies have shown direct relationship between food security and agricultural mechanization. You can't drive agriculture without mechanization. It's often said that agriculture is the vehicle, but the wheel on which the vehicle moves is mechanization. So without the wheel, you have to be dragging the vehicle, which is almost impossible to attain. So when we look at vulnerability to climate change, without mechanization, you cannot introduce or make use of precision irrigation facilities, especially during the dry spell that we even experience during rainy season. If you think that the crop you want to grow is one that doesn't require much water, and you are like melon, for example, people grow melon as early as the rain starts. But I witnessed sometime last year that melon even went dry on the field. So it's so difficult these days, almost impossible for you these days to farm without considering irrigation or alternative source of water for you to get your best yield. And this is why mechanization is possible to tackle the menace of climate change. The inability to compete in global markets. When you don't mechanize, obviously you can hardly produce for local consumption, not to talk of exports markets. So in this wise, countries that have advantage of mechanization have upper hand. And it is sometimes said that the reason for poverty in developing countries is as a result of lack of mechanization. So there's the need for us to be able to produce for local consumption as well as for export, to look at mechanization to tackle this, to be able to compete in the global market. And I want to look at the high labor costs too. There is always peak demand of labor during peak farming seasons, which makes labor costs very high. But I still look at availability of labor as a hindrance for us to mechanize our agriculture. because we still have access to farm labor. That's why we don't seem to be so serious about mechanization. In Japan, the dwelling population of farm labor was what led to mechanization revolution in Japan then. So just imagine a scenario where you don't have labor to work on the farm. What will you do? Even non-engineers will start to develop mechanization tools and equipment for their farm. So maybe because of lack of education of our citizens, that's what made many of our citizens go into farm labor. If there's enough education and there are other jobs to engage, even those who go into farm labor, they will be forced to mechanize our agriculture. So time consuming labor, low productivity, and so on, all as a result of lack of mechanization, leading to food insecurity. Now, the National Center for Agri-Mechanization plays a pivotal role in ensuring the development and application of agro machines in order to ensure food security in Nigeria. For those who don't know us, this is what we are, established by Decree 35 of 1990 and repealed and amended in the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act of 2021. We are located in Ilorin, Kwara State. We are supposed to have sub-centers in 3 agroecological zones, but we're even looking beyond that now. Considering the composition of our personnel cut across all fields of agricultural and power system engineering, mechanical, electrical, as well as agricultural sciences and the humanities. And we have facilities within the center for fabrication of equipment and for farming as well. And we sit on 1,000 hectares of land. Why was the center set up? Was apart from developing and promoting need-based and homegrown mechanization technologies, not imported this time. It's need-based and homegrown mechanization technologies. That is the essence for setting up the center. And we don't need to reinvent the wheels. And that is why we have the mandate to bring into focus technologies and equipment developed by various other institutions and agencies. Bodies evaluate their suitability for adoption. You as an entity, if we find out that you have an equipment or machinery that will be useful to the farmers, we can assist in perfecting that technology and disseminating it and promoting it as well. So we work collaboratively with agencies, similar agencies, universities, and so on. And we are not to go into basic research as it is in the universities. Ours is translational research, the goal of which is to move basic research discovery more quickly and efficiently into practice. And that's why the department in the center cut across all the various departments in agricultural engineering department of the universities. You have farm power machinery, land and water engineering, processing, even including extension, agro-industrial and extension too, so that we get these technologies, can take them from the shelf from the university, from basic output of basic research. We evaluate their suitability for adoption, we test, evaluate, we perfect these machines and make sure it gets to the end users. And that is the essence why the National Center for Agri-Mechanization was set up. So let me introduce the one or two of our equipment that we have developed so far and that we are also developing. You saw some of them over there, but you didn't see them in action. So I promise that from this presentation, this is the yam mound making machine that was developed some 3-4 years ago at the directive of the then Minister, Chief Audu Ogbe, who is from the yam producing part of the country. And we produced it, and General Obasanjo saw it on our website and demanded for a few units for his farm. And this was when we took it to the farm for evaluation, and it was on the farm too for hours. Gave us a letter of recommendation on this, as you can see. Let's move on. Okay, now we have seed planters too. Uh, we have this is the 3-row seed planter, and this multi-seed planter as well. At least the advantage is to have a planter that has multiple advantage for like maize, cowpea, soya beans, sorghum, and so on. So this is the planter. We will keep improving on our technologies. And when we extend our technology to you, the backup services is always there. And be rest assured that if there's any issue, we are there. And even if there's the need to even replace such machine, we are also there. For the various levels of mechanization, we have the 2-row motorized seeder 2 seed planter, as you can see. We have the 15-row rice seeder for large-scale rice farming as well. And this is our briquette making machine, the one you saw outside there. Because there's a lot of agricultural waste generated during harvesting of crops, and they constitute nuisance sometimes. So we convert this into briquette, which is a solid fuel. And this assists in curbing deforestation, where you depend on charcoal from cutting of trees in the bush. So you can use agricultural waste to generate these briquettes, and you can use them for smoking your fish. Now, coming to harvesting, a lot of people have problem of harvesting, especially large-scale farms, and now depend on imported combined harvesters. And we see the challenges with this combined harvester. The technical backup services is not always there. Whenever these combined harvesters have faults, that is where they end their activities and useful life. So we come up with a tractor combine that can harvest rice just using the conventional tractor, which is easy to maintain and repair. And you work the reaper on it, the conveyor, and a thresher at the back. So all these other components are locally produced. So the maintainability of this kind of system is well guaranteed compared to the imported, very expensive and sophisticated combined harvesters. So this is our initiative on this. This is fertilizer applicator that at least prevents you from having to bend down to apply your fertilizer. You can adjust the quantity that comes out from it. The rice transplanter, this is one area that's of a big challenge to lowland rice farmers in Nigeria. We haven't gotten there, but we're making all the efforts to see that we come up with a rice transplanter that will be accessible and affordable to our small, medium scale farmers. Here is the multi-seed, multi-crop thresher. This thresher has the capability to thresh up to 6 different crops. And this is tested and proven. And it has the cleaning section too, and also a conveyor that will enable you to collect your seed from a standing position. You can hang a sack there to collect your seed. This can do as up to like 2 to 3 tons per hour. As it is, this we have tested, and it's already been popularized, and we have demand for the production. It will get to a point that the center may not be able to handle the demand for the production. And that's why we come to training of fabricators across the country, so as to at least make them know how to produce this in their various locations by creating the ripple effect in commercializing these technologies that we have equally started. Equally, there's a winnower here that will now add more value to what comes out of your treasure. terms of cleaning. So now, in line with the backyard garden initiative by the First Lady, I think it was launched a few months ago. We are looking at these manually operated devices too, simple for small scale farmer. Though it may have its own little drudgery, but still far better than using the traditional hoe and cutlass for these activities. So we are also promoting this and making it available to farmers that needs it. We have the motorized weeder. Of course, if you can afford this one too. Though we have the imported ones too, but we are already domesticating this. And you can see the convenience with which you use it on the farm. We have seed planter single row that are manual too for small scale farmer that are also gender sensitive. If an old man can use it, obviously a lady farmer too can use it. And they are very, very efficient as well and cost effective. Yeah, the soya making machine you saw outside there, it wasn't functional, but that's the second version we made. The first version was produced for IR&T based on demand, which we produced for the institute, and that's what they are using till now for making soya beans. So the second version is the one you saw outside there too. So now we also go into processing machines for peeling cassava fryer, and even complete assembly plant for cassava products, for palm oil products, and also for feed mill. We have complete plants for this. And this is one of our latest machines that we produce. Uh, this is a biogas system for home use. As you know that electricity is becoming a thing of becoming so expensive nowadays. This kind of system will carry a small household of maybe 5 or 6, as you can see. You have the cooking gas there, you have the generator there that can be used to power the lighting in the house, and the whole system is also complementary, whereby you don't need any external power in order to even feed the substrate or to bring out the effluents. And that effluents can also be used to fertilize your farm. So it's also a very good system for a small, like 1 hectare farm, where you do your drip irrigation to farm, and you have a system like this on that farm. You won't need fertilizer from the effluents you'll be getting. And what do you need to feed it as a substrate? If you have a small, maybe poultry, or you have a rabbit pen, both the feces can be used to operate the biogas. So it's a very handy one. The center is the only mechanization center in Nigeria that has the mandate to test, certify agricultural machines and equipment that are in use in Nigeria, whether imported or locally produced. And that we continue to do. Tractors coming into the country too are expected to pass through the center for testing and certification in order to ensure that they are suitable for use in the country and that they are durable as well. Because sometimes manufacturer of agricultural equipment and tractors can kind of lie concerning the capability or capacities of that tractor. So there's the need to verify this, and that is why we advise importers, farmers, and the government at all level to have recourse to the center. Though we are seeking for legislative backing, but as at this time, we are advocating for understanding so that Nigeria will not be used as a dumping ground for substandard tractors and agricultural equipment. So it is good that we are mentioning this here. because this is a serious threat to food security. If you buy an inferior tractor, the tractor is expected to last, in those days, almost a lifetime. It even outlives the owner. But nowadays, you buy tractors within 2 years, you're unable to use it again. So farmers don't have value for their investments. So that is the concern of the National Center for Agri-Mechanization. So in disseminating our technology, we do this through training on tractor operation, which is what you see here. Also, we also train on welding and fabrication of agricultural machines and equipment, prototypes that have been perfected by the center. The way we create the ripple effect and extend it is to train. Recently, we trained about 30 fabricators from Kano State, picked from the different local government areas in Kano State on the fabrication of the multi-crop thresher. So, and that continues. Now, in the formulation of policies on mechanization, we are also fully involved, collaborating with the Oyo State government on development of agricultural fabrication policy, as well as the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security on the development of national policy on agricultural mechanization. Well, the future trust of income is what you see here, where with our 1,000 hectares of land and our capabilities, we are looking at equipment standardization so that it can attract the farmers, and farmers can, we want a situation whereby our equipment will be so standardized and we compete favorably with imported equipment. And that is when we can get the confidence and patronage of our farmers in the country. So we are emphasizing and looking seriously into standardizing our equipment through the farm village and through our processing centers as well, and through our training activities, external extension. And also we are into collaboration, just like we are doing with Amatex now. We are in collaboration with Tanta Motors on the commercialization of our equipment, Africats and Lovo tractors, where we also collaborate to produce income logo. We also fabricate 30 to 40 horsepower mini tractors in the center as well. And the African Economic and Trade Corporation in China, we're into partnership with them. So, okay. Well, in conclusion, without the adoption of agri-mechanization, farming becomes inefficient and unsuitable, particularly as population grow and food demand increase. Lack of mechanization can hinder food production, reduce food quality, and create cycle of poverty, hunger that exacerbates food insecurity. So mechanization is key to improving productivity and resilience to climate change and the overall efficiency of food systems, making it crucial to address food insecurity challenges in the country.
And many thanks for staying through on the program Back to Farm, where we had an expert who took us on the program, food security and agricultural mechanization. The purpose of agricultural policy is to develop appropriate and sustainable guidelines for promotion of efficient agricultural practices that guarantee food security, generate employment for citizens, provide raw materials for agricultural industries, and also to acquire foreign currency. Agriculture can work with other sectors of the economy to achieve faster development and reduce poverty. Many thanks for staying with us. My name remains Joshua Ishaya. Thanking you for watching. Bye for now.